You think collecting more information will help you decide. You think saving that article, downloading that course, keeping those old files will make you ready. But your mind is moving slower every day because your environment is drowning you. Look around right now. How many browser tabs do you have open? How many unread messages are stacked in your notifications? How many things are sitting on your desk that you haven't touched in weeks? Every single one of them is a small weight on your attention, a tiny drain on your focus. And you wonder why starting anything feels so hard. Here's the truth. Motivation comes and goes, but a clear space creates a clear mind, and a clear mind moves without hesitation. In the next few minutes, you're going to learn why warriors carried almost nothing, how emptiness became their greatest strength, and the exact method to clean out the mental clutter that's been paralyzing you. You'll walk away with a simple practice you can start today, not next week. If someone filmed your workspace right now, your phone screen, your desktop, would it look like the environment of someone ready to win? Let me show you an ancient lesson about the power of nothing. There was a young apprentice who wanted more than anything to master the way of the blade. He studied every scroll he could find. He collected weapons, tools, training manuals. His small room was filled with everything a warrior might need. Extra sandals, ceremonial robes he'd never worn, gifts from distant relatives, stacks of writings on strategy and philosophy. He told himself he was preparing. Every evening, he'd sit among his possessions and read about discipline, about focus, about the calm mind of a true fighter. But when dawn came and it was time to train, his body felt heavy. His thoughts scattered. He'd stand in the courtyard holding his blade, but his mind was back in that crowded room, thinking about the scroll he hadn't finished, the tool he needed to organize, the question he wanted to research. Months passed. Another student arrived at the training ground, someone who owned nothing but a single blade and the clothes he wore. This student moved with frightening clarity. No hesitation, no distraction. The apprentice watched him and felt something cold settle in his chest. He had everything. The other student had almost nothing. Yet the one with nothing was already becoming what the apprentice only talked about. This isn't just a story. It's your inbox with 4,000 unread emails. It's your desktop with 67 folders you haven't opened in months. It's your bookshelf filled with books you swear you'll read someday. It's the 15 productivity apps you downloaded to help you focus. Each one now, just another thing demanding your attention. Your brain wasn't built to hold all of this. Every unfinished task, every open loop, every piece of clutter you see creates a tiny decision point. Should I deal with this now? Should I ignore it? Should I remember it for later? And your mind, trying to process all these micro decisions, slows down. You sit down to work, and you're already exhausted before you start. Here's the mechanism. Your environment shapes your mental state. A chaotic space creates chaotic thought. A heavy space creates a heavy mind. Does your physical space right now reflect the focus you want to have? Does your digital world look like it belongs to someone who's in control? This isn't about weakness or lack of discipline. This is about a pattern that's suffocating your ability to act. And that pattern can be reversed starting today. There's a principle the old warriors understood deeply, though they never needed to shout about it. They called it the practice of emptiness. Not emptiness as lack, but emptiness as power. A mind filled to the brim has no room to respond. A hand gripping too many tools cannot move with speed. The teaching was simple. Carry only what serves a moment. Everything else is weight. One master would walk through his students' quarters and ask a single question. If you had to leave this place in one breath, what would you take? The students would panic, looking at their accumulated things. And the master would say, if you cannot answer instantly, you're already carrying too much. The rule became this. For every new thing you bring into your space, something old must leave. Not someday. Now, the sword stays sharp because you remove what dulls it. The mind stays clear because you remove what clouds it. Let this settle in your bones. Emptiness is not weakness. Emptiness is a condition for movement. A cup already full cannot receive water. A mind already cluttered cannot receive clarity. Now let's make this real. You're going to apply the protocol of radical emptiness, and it works in 3 layers that you execute in order starting today. First, you choose one physical space that you interact with every single day. Not your whole house, not your entire life. One space. Your desk, your nightstand, your car, somewhere your eyes land multiple times a day. You're going to strip it down to only what's essential for the next 7 days of your actual life. Not what might be useful someday. Not what you paid money for. Not what someone gave you. What you actually need this week. Everything else gets removed. Put in a box. Put in a closet. Doesn't matter. Just out of sight. This is a foundation. One clear space that your mind can rest in without processing clutter. Second, you create a fixed moment each day, same time, where you defend that emptiness. Every evening before sleep, or every morning before you start, you spend 60 seconds resetting that space. Nothing stays that doesn't belong. No exceptions. This isn't about being obsessive. This is about training your mind to recognize that clarity is a practice, not an accident. You do it at the same time every day, because that removes a decision. It becomes automatic, like sharpening a blade after every use. You clear your space after every day. Third, you protect the pattern even when it feels unnecessary. On good days, you'll be tempted to skip it because everything looks fine. On bad days, you'll be tempted to skip it because you're too tired. This is where most people fail. The warrior's rule is this. The practice matters most when it feels pointless, because that's when the habit is being forged. If you miss a day, you don't collapse into guilt. You simply return the next day, without drama. The chain of clarity is built one link at a time, and even a broken chain can be rejoined. Here's the insight that changes everything. You're not cleaning your desk. You're teaching your brain that you can create order, that you have agency, that the chaos doesn't control you. Every time you clear that space, you're laying down evidence that you're someone who follows through. And your mind, watching this evidence accumulate, starts to believe you're capable of other things too. Think of it like this. A mountain isn't climbed by staring at the peak. It's climbed by clearing the path one step at a time. Your mind is the same. You can't think your way to clarity. You have to create the environment where clarity can exist and then defend it daily. The emptiness isn't the goal. The emptiness is a space where your real work can finally begin. Let me show you what this looks like in practice. There was someone, just a regular person drowning in digital clutter and physical mess, who decided to try this. Their desk was covered with cables, old notebooks, coffee cups, printed papers from projects that ended months ago, random tools, charging devices they didn't use, a broken keyboard they kept meaning to fix. Every time they sat down to work, their eyes would scan all of it, and their energy would drop before they even opened their laptop. They felt stuck, slow, always behind. So they started with just the desk. They removed everything except the laptop, one notebook, one pen, and a lamp. Everything else went into a box under the bed. The first day felt strange. The desk looked almost too empty, like something was missing. But when they sat down that evening, something shifted. Their mind didn't scatter. They opened the laptop and started working without the usual 15-minute drift of reorganizing things, checking their phone, adjusting objects. The work just began. They kept a 60-second reset every night before bed. Some nights it took 10 seconds because nothing had accumulated. Some nights it took 2 minutes because they let mail and cups pile up during a busy day. It didn't matter. They did it anyway. Then came a brutal week. Deadline stress, exhaustion. One night they were so tired they almost skipped the reset. But they remembered the rule, especially when it feels pointless. They spent 1 minute putting 3 things away. That was it. And the next morning, sitting down at that clear desk, while everything else in their life felt chaotic, they had one small island of control. That island became the place their focus returned to. 3 weeks in, they noticed something unexpected. They were finishing projects, not because they suddenly had more time or energy, but because the environment no longer stole their attention before they could start. The change didn't come from a big, dramatic overhaul. It came from one clear space, defended daily, no matter what. Right now, I want you to pause this video and look around. Pick one space. Just one. Your desk, your kitchen counter, your car dashboard, your phone home screen. Somewhere you see every single day. You're going to clear it down to only what's essential for this week, not later, today, in the next hour. Take everything else and put it somewhere you can't see it. Then, tonight before you sleep, you're going to spend 60 seconds making sure it stays clear. That's the first link in your chain. If this hit you in a way that mattered, do me a favor and subscribe so you keep getting these reminders. Hit the like button if you're actually going to try this, not just think about it. And drop a comment below. What's the one space you're clearing today? I read every single one, and seeing other people commit makes this whole community stronger. Preparation without clearing the path is just another form of delay. You cannot think yourself into a focused life. You create the space and the focus follows. Your mind craves simplicity, but you keep feeding it complexity. Every object you don't need is a decision you're forcing yourself to make again and again. Every digital file you're hoarding is a weight your attention carries. The warriors understood something you've forgotten. Power comes from what you remove, not what you add. You don't need more tools. You don't need more information. You need less noise so the signal can finally get through. Back in that story, the apprentice made a decision. He looked at his crowded room, and he understood. He spent one evening removing everything that wasn't directly tied to his training. The scrolls he hadn't opened in months, the gifts sitting in corners, the tools he collected but never used. He kept his blade, his practice clothes, a single mat. That night, for the first time in years, he sat in that empty space and felt his mind go quiet. The next morning, he walked to the training ground, and his body moved differently, lighter, clearer, no hesitation between thought and action. The other student noticed and nodded once in respect. The apprentice finally understood. The battle was never about gaining more. It was about releasing the weight that stopped him from moving. Your small action for today is this. Clear one space down to essentials. 60 seconds tonight to keep it that way. Don't plan it. Don't research it. Don't wait for the perfect system. Just remove what doesn't serve you and see what happens when your mind has room to breathe. If you made it this far, you're a part of a rare group that actually wants to change, not just consume content about changing.